Greetings everyone, my name is Dedede, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Mega Maker. During the last part, I covered 5 viewer-submitted levels, so in this part, I'll be covering 5 or 6 more viewer-submitted levels. Now, as a quick status update about this LP, apparently in part 16, I covered my 100th level, which was 11 Control Zone. I didn't realize it because I wasn't keeping proper track of the level numbers. In fact, the last level that I covered in the last part was the 115th level, so I will announce when I get to the 200th level officially in the part itself. And as usual, if you want one of your levels to be featured in a future part, please leave the ID or the name of the level in a comment below or direct message me on Twitter. And as usual, as well, the full disclaimer of this LP is linked in the description. So let's start up with this level. Whoops, I didn't mean that. Also, I'm playing on version 1.0.5, which added a lot of the necessary updates, like an eyedropper of sorts, so you can reuse the same objects from elsewhere without having to dig through all the toolboxes, and a lot more optimization, so hopefully levels won't lag as much. There was already an optimization pass in the last major revision, and now there's another one given, so hopefully no more lagging in big levels in the editor or the game itself. Okay, first level in this one is Nightcore by Joe. They're the same creator as Clock Tower, by the way. That was a pretty large level and that did lag quite a bit, but following these 2 updates, hopefully it shouldn't lag at all. That's also one of the reasons why I saved it up for this part and didn't do it in the last part, because I was worried how long it would be. And of course this Nightman again. And at least the downloads will take quite a while because of the large length, but it shouldn't lag as much. Oh good, it's not lagging at all. Wonderful, so the updates fixed it. Now level designers can make the large levels if they want to. Actually, let me see what was on the left side. I'm curious. Sometimes they're hidden goodies. After all, in most other platformers, or most platformers in general, you usually travel from left to right. But here, I want to go from right to left to see what good stuff may be here. I'm just going to damage boost off of there. Oh, there's also an upper route. Huh, it seems that we have multiple pathways to get through these stages, or get through Nightcore. Kind of interesting, though. I mean, we have a completely different alternate path from the left. I wonder if it'll merge into the right, or if it's a completely separate path. We'll see soon enough. I wonder why there are footholders there. Forced weapon usage here, but at least we have all these tellies to regenerate weapon energy if necessary. Oh, so this was just for the E-Tank, and it was just going to that pad in order to get it, and then we'd loop back here. Interesting. And in order to take the safe route back, we'll have to get back onto this footholder. I see, that's clever. With all of the updates that this engine is receiving, I'm really hoping in the future we'll eventually get the option to enable items. Like, for example, the energy balancer or something. That way we don't need to keep switching between our different special weapons in order to restore them. That would be really nice. A little bit of tight fit here, but it's not too bad. Okay, and this leads to somewhere else. Oh, I hear force beams. Oh, I missed that one. Let me crash bomber this one. Oh, I see. I'll just damage boost off the tellies and... let me revisit that point. I think I missed something. Oh, I see. I completely missed that door. I thought it was just part of the scenery. My mistake. That seems like kind of like a Kaiser trap to me. I'll go for it. Just need to race. Oh, never mind. It's a lot more generous. I thought he would get trapped there. And there's a checkpoint right over here. I don't think it was necessary to put it here, but okay. And now we're traveling to the right side of the screen. I wonder if the paths loop up this way, and if we fell down those falling platforms, we would be taking the other route, or be sent back down to the start of the stage. But I always appreciate if stages have more detailed or separate alternate pathways that eventually loop into each other or join up with each other. It makes the game feel more like a Metroidvania of sorts, or at least increases the replayability of these stages. And as I said before, I love playing through Metroidvanias. I like how we can re-explore earlier areas with greater sets of abilities and seeing earlier areas from a different lens. It's always fun. And if you're fast enough over here, you'll get access to the M-Tank. You gotta be careful though and wait for the the Yoku blocks to disappear, otherwise you'll get telefragged. The developer of Kaz Grim Act 3 did respond to me on my comments, and they did agree that there probably should be a setting on the editor to actually set it so there are outlines for the Yoku blocks, or at least the ability to make it so that the force beams, Yoku blocks, actually shunt you outwards instead of just instant-gaping you. Boy, there are a bunch of alternate pathways, it seems. I'll take the left route, I don't have rush coil, so I wonder if this is an alternate pathway, or this is just a momentary respite. I see, if we wanted to take the easy route, we could. Instead, I'll just take the more difficult route. Here comes the spikes and everything. It's gonna be a little bit tight here. Never mind, because even if I damage boosted off of there, I would be killed by being crushed. We can either go to the right, or... let me try going down. Oh. Okay, so this is a really alternate path heavy stage. Oh, okay, so I'm taking the bottom route now. I'm probably gonna have to replay this stage. I think this is Japanese text and I don't know what it says, unfortunately. If a viewer could explain what it is, I'd be really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm going to use the level... well, I'm going to replay the stage from the right route. I can see a bottom route over there. This place is filled with alternate pathways, so I definitely approve of it. It's definitely becoming one of my favorite stages out of the bunch of viewer submit levels. I wish I could teleport between checkpoints though if this was an actual Metroidvania. Joe did a pretty good job. I'm liking it more than Clock Tower. Definitely going to have to replay the stage taking the right route, and then use the editor to get back up there. And there's the boss fight against Nightman. Neat! Of course his weakness is the Crash Bomber. What else would it be? And that's the end of the first route, well, first route in quotation marks, of Nightcore. There are a whole bunch of routes, and it kind of reminds me of a Genesis Sonic game where they're like an upper route, bottom route, middle route, etc. And I suppose the upper routes are more rewarding or something. So let's try taking the right route immediately and see what it has to offer. You know, how do you access this top route over there? Oh, I guess by falling, I suppose. Oh, never mind, we loop back, I think. How do I... oh, yeah, that's how. At least I have the capability to hit these enemies, but we have forced weapon usage, unfortunately. To be fair, based off the music, I think it may be more of a fortress-based stage, as evidenced by the forced weapon usage in the previous pathway anyway. A little bit of tight fit. Don't really like when I have these tight fits. Let's go up then. And there was also frequent checkpoint placement. A lot more frequent than what I would expect, but oh well. And quite tight platforming as well. or platforming towards tight corridors. Ah, there's this alternate route I saw earlier. I completely screwed up this jump. No, I can't make it. Maybe if I access it from the right side, I could travel upwards. Oh, that's another thing I like about this stage. There are several places where you can take you can switch from taking, you can go up a route or go down a route if you really want to. I guess this is the bottom route. Whoops, I forgot to hold right there. I wonder what's with all of these doors, though. I suppose these doors are made to seal off each of these segments. Of course, I could have damage boosted off the... I could have just damage boosted... Okay, I'll just take the bottommost route this time and then replay the stage and take the right route over there. This is gonna take a while, I suppose. I see what they want me to do there. I'm not gonna detonate those force beams. Definitely not, so they don't instantly get murdered. If I use the crash bomb, I could get across. Yeah, this... Ow. This is a really detailed... this is a really well put together stage with many different pathways. Oh no, I see what they want me to do here. Okay, I was gonna have to damage boost over there anyway. And the Yoku block segments aren't that frustrating either. They're relatively fair if you were to ask me. Too bad I don't have the charge shot. That would make taking care of these Sniper Joes a lot easier. I wonder if you could go down over there. I don't want to risk it. Also liking the twisty-turny pathways too. I'm definitely going to be looking this up in the editor once I'm done with this stage. I'm probably missing a whole bunch of different pathways. And this is where we fight Nightman again. Yeah, after this one I'm gonna download this in the editor and skip ahead so we don't need to see me going through the same parts of the stage over and over. Come on. Okay, that's it. Well, that was the second route in Nightcore. Although in reality, there's so many routes. I think there are at least 3 main routes that branch into each other, so it's kind of hard to tell where each of them starts and where each of them ends. Or it's hard to consider them in their own cohesive, to consider them in their own discrete functions. When the stage lags like this, I'm always a bit concerned. I'm gonna show the right route first and play through the stage that way, so at least we can see how it works. Yeah, there's no way you can loop back over here, and... Okay, this is just for the E-tank, I see. Oh, okay, so if I go right over here, somehow loop back over here, get the checkpoint, get up here... Well, I don't really get anything. I don't get any other items other than just getting this E-tank, then I have to loop back. I thought there was something extra there. How do I access this one? Oh, that's where it loops back over there. I've explored all of this area. Okay, this is just the bottomless pit, it seems. I'm going to have to figure out how to access this area, that's for sure. I'm just going to backtrack and... Okay, so I went down here last time, I remember. Oh, and I went over here, and then I went down here, now I remember, sorry. And then I jumped down here and made it up over there. So instead, I'm going to see what lies over here, specifically taking up all these Sparkman platforms, and eventually I'll take the right route. Now, let me take the... I'll go up first and I'll take the right route. And that. That was my fault though. I got harmed by those... I'm waiting for the Yoku block to appear to block that. Why isn't it... So that's how you do it. Because if you missed that jump, you would fall right in the pit there. And be sent down to the lower pathway. But we're forced to take it here anyway, so I'll be going down. Oh, wait a minute. I see, I have a hunch where this leads up to. It was that other route we could take in from the left. Huh. I should be able to access it from there, but for some reason I can't. So I'll just put myself back where I was, so over here. Then I'll take a look at the other upper route. Well, I already did actually. All the routes have been covered, but I'll do another clean sweep just in case I missed something. Oh, sneaky. This is one of those rooms. If we fall down here, do we... Ooh, thank you, Tellies. Oh, that's not fair. I probably should not have slid over there, though. What happened? Okay, I'm trapped in here, so I don't know what happens if I fall. I'll figure it out once I replay the stage. Or open up the editor again. Let me just take care of all the pole legs. And rush my way towards here. Use the crash bomber in order to destroy all that. And rush my way towards here. Yeah, this seems to be the hardest room. Oh! So if you take the uppermost route, I think it's the hardest one in some ways, then you gain access to the heart of this you gain access to the core of this place, which is shaped like a heart. And then you can completely skip the fight against Nightman. I quite enjoy alternate pathways and alternate wind conditions. So good job, Joe, for adding it. I'm gonna take another look at this at the editor, and then I'll move on to the next stage. Even though I spent over 20 minutes on this stage, I quite enjoyed it. It's one of my favorite traditional Mega Man stages ever I played in this Mega Maker engine, especially due to all the alternate pathways. Okay, there's nothing down here, it's all in debt. I really wish I knew what this said, at least. Sorry, I switched to keyboard controls over there because it's a bit faster. There's the pathway I went through earlier. Nope, there's no difference I see, it just leads all the way up here. Very good, fully featured stage. I quite enjoyed it. It's definitely been added to my favorites list of the bunch. So, amazing job, Joe. Second level on this lineup is Wireless Tower by DeltaRay, 6 plays and a score of 0. Now, I will be playing through both of the levels DeltaRay shared or requested of me, so let's start up with this one. It seems to be another long one, and of course it's Wireless Tower, and it's electrical based, so of course we're gonna have Sparkman. Mega Man 4 Charge Shot, okay, we have a bunch of other items. And Time Man's team. I'm not sure why we need Time Man's team, unless it's a time-based stage. Oh well, who knows. And the Rolling Cutter does kill these Picket Man a lot faster, so I will use it a lot more. And it also kills the Hammer Joes in half the time, so I'll definitely be using it more too. We have two ways we can take. I'm going to take the right route because it seems to be the furthest away, unless they want to use reverse psychology on me. They usually tend to have the more rewarding ones, the longer ones. Oh, and apparently this was the right route. Taking the left one would just lead to that large life energy. Oh, and another thing that was added is the fact that the backgrounds now blend in, or will now try matching or blending with the colors of the foreground, so there's less contrast and annoyance. So that's appreciated. Or the other way around, I'll need to double check the patch notes. So there are going to be less issues with seeing or distinguishing between the background and foreground. I think too difficult so far. It's a relatively straightforward stage. A nice break from the heavy usage of alternate pathways of Nightcore. I'm suspicious. Let me take the yeah, there was something there. Actually, let me take the lower route first. See what it has to offer. Running face first into a prop top, I suppose. Oh, and there's nothing here. Darn. Okay, so this is just a red herring. The upper route is the one we're supposed to be taking. Really wish I had some life pickups. So now let's go on to the correct route. I really wish there was something at the end of that route so it wasn't completely useless going there. Like maybe a large life energy or weapon energy. That would have been appreciated. Well, at least there was a checkpoint right over there. Double Yoku blocks. Interesting. Yeah, this is going to be a Yoku block segment, I know it. Hopefully it's not too jerkish, where it decides to spawn a Yoku block right on top of me, like that. Okay, I was really lucky there, I thought I was gonna die. Now let's see if I don't die to all the, to the shotmen. That would be really... oh wait a minute, I forgot I have the flash stopper. Or just use the magnet missile, that works too. I probably should have been using the flash stopper more. Really wish there was a checkpoint nearby though. Oh, thank you for the large life energy, really appreciate it. Now, if only I had a stronger weapon like the Crash Bomber to deal with these enemies. Now let's take care of these. And run away as fast as possible. Button mash my way out of here by using the flash stopper. And there was the checkpoint right at the end. Checkpoint placement is pretty fine. It's not as dense as the Night Core was, but this is more like a regular Mega Man stage in terms of checkpoint placement, so I do approve. Force beams. Thank you for putting a checkpoint nearby so we don't instantly die to them. Oh, these are the green ones, so they won't instantly kill me either. I'm just gonna die here so I can regain all my health, especially as that checkpoint's right over there, so I don't end up dying in the middle of halfway through the checkpoint, or worse yet, just before the checkpoint. That'd be very embarrassing. Oh, that's fun. We spin in mid-air, as long as the flash stopper's on. Overall, liking the level design, not as much as the Night Core, but that's more due to the fact that it had alternate pathways, and one of the things I love in the Mega Man stages is alternate pathways and Metroidvania design. Oh, I guess that's the top of the wireless tower, and that's the end of the stage, so let's go there. And of course Brightman is probably there too, being guarded by all these super ball cannons. I'm hoping that Brightman's weakness is not the flash stopper. Oh, I didn't see that title over there for a second. That's another thing I've noticed in some Mega Man levels, is that some of the stages can drag on a little bit longer than what they need to. In order to make stages feel like they drag on less, you should usually mix up the gimmicks, add new enemies, gimmick combinations, etc. This stage doesn't feel like it yet, but it's going to eventually reach the point, I suppose. Okay, there's the exit. It's a little bit more on the longer side, but if it dragged on for too long, I would get kind of annoyed. And I feel like the stage is a bit dull. After all, making Mega Man levels, or even platformer levels in general, is a careful balancing act between length, difficulty, and introduction and usage of gimmicks. And here's the fight against Brightman, in his original environment it seems, and his weakness is the rolling cutter, of course. Darn, I almost did it without taking damage. And that was the end of Wireless Tower. A nice traditional styled Mega Man stage. I would say it's about the same quality as their previous set of stages. So I will give it a thumbs up. And as promised, I'm going to do the other level DeltaRay sent to me, Mount Honor. 8 plays and a score of 1. Another medium to sort of long length stage as well. I can estimate how long each of these stages are based off the time it takes to load them up. Like, I know that Night Core was certainly longer than this one, or at least bigger because of how long it took. It was even longer than this one. If there's another thing I would like to be added to this game, it would be like an average screen length, or the number of screens that this stage has, so to sort of guesstimate how long the stages are, especially when having to browse a new queue or popular queue. Okay, Mega Man 5 or 6 Charge Shot, and this takes place in the frozen tundra. Also like the fact that the background is white because it blends in more with the background, I suppose. Because before the Iceman background, or at least the mountainous background here, it would be bluish colored, but in order to blend in, it's now white. I think that's what the engine automatically did, but I wonder if it was actually the level designers themselves. Like I said, I need to double check the patch notes. First get through all these seals. Take care of the Ben K. I'm just gonna ignore the Ben K then. Oh, now I know it's called Mount Honor. We're ascending this mountain. Take care of those... I forget their name of it. The six-shooters, I suppose their name. Coltons, that's the name. It's kind of embarrassing that I forgot what they were called. Okay, we're forced to use the quick boomerang here. That's an odd transition from water, though. Well, I suppose that we had an alternate pathway over there, but we took this one instead. Okay, another one of these segments. Can I skip past it by just using the rush coil? No, not yet. Okay, I'm gonna have to be really quick for this one. Oh, I totally forgot that we have access to the charge kick. If I did have it, I could just easily circumvent the challenge entirely. It is possible to do it, but I'd rather just skip it entirely because of how long it's taking, how precise it is. So I really appreciate that the developer gave me the charge kick in order to make the challenge easier, especially with its air jump. I should have known of that earlier. I see what the problem is here. You need to be careful while taking care of the hopper so you don't destroy the ground beneath you. Nice little puzzle. Jump over to Ben K and... that was my fault more than the spike hitboxes, thankfully. Oh, wait a minute, why wasn't there a checkpoint there? For all that time I was getting stuck in the challenge, apparently the ordering was broken because the engine somehow didn't set it correctly. Alright, I revoke my criticism for that, level designer, sorry, and I move it on to the engine itself. I find it strange why the engine has problems with consistently setting the Yoko block patterns. I don't know if they're probably not running off a global timer, or they're running off of a strange global timer setting. And there should have been a checkpoint a bit earlier, so you can react to the spikes a little bit earlier. And also so you don't need to reset the whole segment over and over. I really appreciate there's a checkpoint here, but having to reset the segment, redo the segment earlier, yeah, there should have been one. I'll definitely mark that against the level designer. It's not too far back, but still. Let me reset that challenge, or just circumvent it entirely. Or not, because I misjudged how far it goes. Wow, that was a complete failure on my part. Let's try doing this the legitimate way. First destroy the Crystal Joe, jump on here, jump on this one. Kill the Crystal Joe again, jump on this one. And get on this one, kill off the Crystal Joe here, and get in here. There we go. There we go, now it's going a lot better. See, a lot fairer Yoko block patterns here. Like I said, I'm complaining, the complaints I had earlier were more the engine rather than the level designer. But I really appreciate that the level designer actually gave me access to using the charge kick in order to make several of these challenges, especially with the Yoko blocks, a lot easier. So that any Mega Man players like me who keep getting stuck don't have to keep banging their head against the wall and can use something to just circumvent it. That's why one of the reasons why I like Mega Man so much. The ability to use so many creative special weapons in order to make some of the challenges a bit easier, as well as make the stages a little bit more fun. After all, Mega Man's base arsenal is rather simplistic if you were to ask me. He doesn't have that many special characteristics in terms of his base gunplay. His main special characteristics come about from all the special weapons he can gain access to, as well as utilities. That was an odd placement of water. And now we loop back up here. Nice usage of this design. I believe Joe did the same thing before with inside of the volcano. And now to circumvent the Ben K entirely, and now we're in the Stone Man segment with white backgrounds and blue clouds. That is a little bit awkward looking. I'm using the restart from last checkpoint option because it skips the dead animation. Well, even though the background blending is in place and makes some of the locations easier to look at, here it looks rather awkward with the white background. I would have preferred a more bluish background, or at least give the level designers an option in order to choose how the background blending will be done. That way it looks less awkward in certain scenarios like this one. Let's kill off the Ben K again. I'm just gonna use the charge kick, or just use the rush coil in order to just skip the challenge. This one, of course, I can't because we're forced to use charge kick. We're forced to slide, Oh, spikes. Oops, I got telefragged there. Not telefragged, I walked right into that one. Here's another one of those locations where I would like to have the skull barrier. Okay, quickly jump on this one. Failed to jump because it didn't register. Let's try this again, shall we? Hopefully with less failure. What? I don't get how this engine decides to set the Yoko blocks. Okay, I think the Yoko blocks are spawning correctly this time. Because the last time it despawned too fast and I never got the sliding working, and I never got the blocks to slide under, which ended up in my debt. Well, at least there is a life energy over there, which I'll avoid for now. And now we're in the fortress itself. Oh, we have two pathways. I'm gonna take the upper one. There's probably more goodies there anyway. First, run past the Crystal Joes, use the charge shot against one of them, and... oh. Okay, here we go again. Oh yeah, I have to do it right at the correct time, otherwise he'll just deflect all my shots. There we go. The charge shot is just below where the crystal is being shot, but just high enough so you can actually hit him. Yep, and there's the E&M tank. I'm not going to restart the last checkpoint because I don't remember where the last checkpoint was. So I'm just going to fall down here and make my way back. Let's see, I could just... I'll just charge kick my way across. I don't want to deal with these enemies. And now we're in the icy segment. Might as well just use the Pharaoh shot for something. And still take a hit. I feel like the Pharaoh shot, especially with the compared to the arsenal in this game, is relatively weaker. In most other cases, I would rather have a weapon other than the Pharaoh shot. Like, for firing diagonally, I would rather have the metal blades quick rapid firing rather than the charge shot, rather than the Pharaoh shot waiting for the Pharaoh shot to charge up all the way. Really would have liked the checkpoint here. In comparison to the previous stage, I think this level's checkpoint placement's a little bit on the poorer side. if you were to ask for my honest opinion. Like, there should have been one a few screens ago, so you don't need to repeat the whole segments over and over. I do like some of the Yoku Block challenges, but it seems that some of the engine bugs are kind of hampering how far they're supposed to be taken, because I feel like I got 2 or 3 unfair deaths because the Yoku Block's not spawning in the way the level designer anticipated or intended, and in the other case I got stuck in that one room because they didn't spawn in the correct order. But oh, I really like that the developer actually gave me access to the charge kick, really may circumvent some of the tough enemy challenges. And at least there's a checkpoint there, so we know there's a boss fight against Nightman. Who is his weakness? Okay, not that one. Of course, it's... is it this? Oh, he bounces off of those wall tiles. That's neat. I'm just gonna use the M-Tank here because might as well. I think it's Charge Kick, or the Crash Bomber. No, he's immune to that, so... Crash Bomber, of course it'd be. And that's the end of Mount Honor. In comparison to the rest of the stages Joe made, I would say it's my second least favorite. Mainly due to the lack of checkpoint placement, and, well, more like engine bugbears with how the Yoku Blocks are done. Otherwise, it's a pretty well put together stage. I like the Yoku Block challenges, even though I said I didn't like it earlier, but it's more due to engine not working properly. But I would rather place Wireless Tower and, let's see here, Tip of the Volcano or Top of the Volcano over this. If I were to rate all the stages, it would be Flame Factory, Mount Honor, Top of the Volcano, then Wireless Tower. At least that's my personal opinion. Fourth level on this lineup is Skybase by Dedede of the Stars, 29 plays and a score of 9. Now, as this part is probably going to be over 45 minutes by this point, I'm going to make it an extra long one. After all, I want to show off at least 5 levels, and from the looks of it, because of the 3 rather long levels beforehand, I'll keep going. And this is also an apology for the fact that the parts were being delayed by quite a bit. My apologies. Real life work ended up being in my way, and, well, I couldn't release any new parts or play the game in a proper, non-exhausted state. Okay, we have Airman's team. Hold on for a second, I need to do a quick check. And also, in between the few hours of a break I took between the third level of this part and this level, the game got a new update as well, to version 1.0.5.1, and that fixed an issue with the auto-updater. Apparently, due to an issue with how Windows 7 works, the auto-updater would fail as what happened with me, so I had to use the manual updating. And is it just me, or does it seem like the stage team seems to be a bit louder? Because we have Airman's team, sure, but it feels like the game is a bit louder than usual. It could be just me, though. I'll figure it out in post. So hopefully version 1.0, this current version fixes the aforementioned issues. How do you access this? Must be one way from the other side. So far so good. This is the Skybase after all, and there are a lot of bottomless pits. Oh no, whoa. I thought I was gonna fall into the spikes there. Good thing we have a Crash Bomber to deal with all these Sniper Joes and whatever else. Oh, there's no use for that one, I see. Oh, I completely missed the jump there. Oh, water segment, I didn't expect it to be there. So far so good. I'm hoping it's not one of those more marathon-length stages like the previous 3 were. Well, more like the first stage was more of a marathon-length stage. Well, not really marathon-length, it's more the fact that we had 3 alternate pathways, which is what it made it so long to cover, at least 20 minutes. The same holds true for, of course, for my level in Mega Maker 2, which is Conveyor Mayhem. It only takes 5 or 6 minutes of normal play to go through it in one pathway, but it takes up to about 20 or 25 minutes if you want to take all 3 pathways, or you want to collect all noble nickels. So far, nothing too difficult. Hoping the engine doesn't glitch out as what happened in the previous level with the Yoko block. So far so good. Nice introduction of gimmicks in a nice fashion, in a straightforward fashion. This stage is a little bit more on the easy side, but it may be just me. But it's fine. I don't mind the every so often easier stage. I'm gonna take the upper route just to see if there's any goodies here. It's a little bit awkward placement if you were to ask me. Oh, okay, there's nothing up here. It's just for all these extra life energies and energy capsules. Well, that's good to know. This is gonna be a little bit tighter. Of course, I could just do that. That was a little bit of a jerkish placement with the Colton there. Thank you for putting the checkpoint here, especially with all the Shadow Man platforms. Especially when that can potentially happen. So good checkpoint placement. Definitely better than the previous stage. Didn't quite make the jump there. There we go. I'm not sure why we have the spiked trap over there when we can just jump up over here. I suppose it was kind of an oversight. Some of the placement of the ground levels tiles seem to be a little bit off with how the scrolling works, and you can end up with the situation where the ground tiles that you're walking on are actually off screen. Little few tight jumps here and there, nothing too problematic. Kind of reverse difficulty curve here because that earlier challenge with those Shadow Man platforms was certainly more difficult than this one. This challenge with the Shadow Man platforms should have been the first one, and then we have that challenge with the Shadow Man platforms over the bottomless pits. At least that's just me. That way we are not introduced to the Shadow Man platforms over a bottomless pit. There's a checkpoint over there which I do appreciate, but still. And now we fight Napalm Man right over here, in a really tight corridor. What is his weakness? Okay, rolling cutter. Let's finish this. And that was the end of Sky Base, a nice and straightforward stage. Although I prefer Night Core and Wireless Tower over this one, but I like Sky Base more than Mount Honor. So, good work, Dedede of the Stars. I liked it. Alright, time for the 5th and last level of this part. I have to, otherwise it's going to end up being over an hour. Well, it is, but I don't want to stretch it out too long. For the 6th level that I would have covered in this part, I'll cover it at the beginning of the next part. So, 5th and final level is Mountain Climb by Solidust. 18 plays and a score of 4. Oh no, it's going to be one of those longer levels, isn't it? Oh, we only have access to the Skull Barrier and the Star Crash. Let me take the left route and see what it has to offer, then I'll take the right route. Wow, you could have been ambushed pretty easily if you weren't careful. G6. Oh, go. That's what it says. I didn't realize there was actually a Sparkman platform there. What happened? I just died for some reason. Okay, G6. Strange. Okay, I need to slide immediately as I go down here. A little bit more of a Kaiser trap, if you would ask me. Oh, sneaky. This is a Kaiser trap. Yep, I need to restart the stage because there's no way of progressing there, I think. Actually, let me try it. Nope, there's nothing to do here, so I better restart the stage. I didn't expect to have Kaiser traps right in this level, but okay. Let's try doing this one then. I need to be careful to not... Oh, I see what they want me to do here. I need to time my jump just right so I don't die. And thankfully, unlike before, the Star Crash only uses weapon energy when I actually throw it at something. Kind of a quick weapon switch over there. Nothing too problematic. Also, I really like how they give a large weapon energy just in case we use the Star Crash. Good checkpoint placement because this stage is riddled with a lot of instant death. I got trapped by that ball. I should have been a little bit faster there. Let's do this correctly now. I probably didn't need to use the Star Crash twice there, but I don't mind it. Oh boy. Let's kill off this one. It's a nice gimmick-based stage utilizing both of the shield weapons, being the Star Crash and Skull Barrier. Well, two of the shield weapons. Too bad I can't fire downwards. Okay, never mind. A little bit tight weapon switching over there. For some reason, it didn't actually hit it properly. I'm just gonna use Star Crash immediately there. Oh, I don't actually need to use Star Crash in order to make this jump. Never mind then. Still, I'm not too annoyed at the checkpoint placement. It's pretty fine. Ah, that's a little bit odd how I can actually damage it while jumping. They must switch the hitbox around a little bit. There we go. A little bit scary there. Okay, so this is going to be a timing-based challenge. I need to activate that at the right time. Otherwise, I'll just fall into the pit. Oh, if I took damage there, I would have died. Or if my shield got dissipated there, well, I would have died there. A little bit of a scary fall over there. I'm just gonna... Oh, I can't... It's one of those, I see. I made that look a lot easier than it actually was, personally speaking. And there was a ladder there if I really wanted to get that M-Tank, which I'll gun for. Come on, where is it? I swear Oh, there it is, right on the left side of the room. Now I'm gonna kill myself over here so I have some extra life. I probably should have just restarted the last checkpoint to speed up the process. And now restore all my Star Crash energy. Pretty nice gimmick-based stage. I'm not really getting frustrated at any point yet. Oh boy, it's a fast one. I'm getting caught flat-footed in a lot of different locations here. Oh darn. That was more of my fault for not sizing up the situation fast enough. I'm gonna take the upper route and see what it has to offer. Oh, I didn't realize that the skull barrier goes that far. I'm gonna try taking the upper route as much as possible, then I'll try taking the bottom route if I get stuck. Okay. A little bit close one there. Let me kill off that one. Where's the jump on? Okay, it's the left. I see there. Really like I have infinite weapon energy, or the fact Star Crash doesn't take weapon energy unless I actually dissipate the shield. Really appreciate that feature. Okay, a bunch of long jumps. And I do have an extra M tank in case I need it. Kill off this one, then make the jump at the edge of the screen. This is a little bit more tight jumping, of course, because I need to be right on the tip of my toes so I can actually make these jumps. But it's not too bad, I would say. I'm not taking the— oh, whoa, that was a trap. That was a trap over there. I want to try killing off that Crystal Joe first. Well, that's the only way across, and there's no checkpoint until there. This is gonna be a pain. And I totally forgot that I didn't have the Skull Bear equipped. I'm gonna have to jump cut. There should have been one more checkpoint there, personally speaking. Okay, that's how you're supposed to do it. That's how you're supposed to get across. I thought you would have to time your jumps properly, but no, it's actually just timing your— it's more typing your space jumps using that thing. A little bit of a tight jump there. Tight squeeze, I mean. I'm gonna wait for that beak to turn itself off, then make the jump. And get killed anyway. Close one there. I needed to use the Skull Barrier in order to make the jump there. Kind of scary if you were to ask me. I'm expecting there to be a sudden drop or something which would cause my death. I'm just gonna throw the Star Crash at this so I don't need to worry about getting killed. I hope there's a checkpoint coming nearby because I really don't want to end up having to repeat that segment again. No, there's— oh no. I need to get there fast. Apparently by jumping I can actually nudge my Skull Barrier a little bit lower than what its max jump height is. That's neat. As shown here. I really need to conserve my Star Crash energy quite a bit. But if you're a more pro Mega Man player who knows how to use the Star Crash and how to quick weapon switch, this stage isn't that bad. And there's a lot of speedrun potential because it takes a while for these beaks to turn on. So there is that. Oh, thank you, thank you. I was hoping there would be large weapon energies beforehand. And thank you for putting a checkpoint just before the boss door. Like I said, I wish there was one more in that first segment, but other than that, I think the checkpoint placement is fine for this more challenging level. And the boss fight against Bomb Man on all these spikes. What is his weakness? Yeah, I forgot that. I think it's a Star Crash. I do have one spare M tank, so I will utilize it. And he doesn't have the ability to deflect any of my shots, so that will be helpful. Yeah, it is the Star Crash. I just need to be careful because he can dissipate all my shots. As even the explosions can. I'm just gonna wait for him to jump up over here, so I don't risk getting killed again. And that's the end of this stage. Oh my goodness, this was the toughest stage in this part. It wasn't as bad as that one segment in 11 Control Zone with Pheromans, segment, but Mountain Climb was certainly a tough challenge. It really was a challenge level focusing on quick weapon switching between the Skull Barrier's spike protected properties and the Star Crash's space jump abilities. What made it challenging is the fact that if you take one hit, or the fact the shields would absorb the shots. So if you have, like on the spikes, and you have the Skull Barrier up and absorb a projectile, you're dead. So damage boosting and carefully timing your jumps is necessary. So I think it's a well-crafted stage, though I'd like one more check. So good job, Saldus. It would be, personally speaking, this would be my fourth favorite stage out of the bunch. I personally preferred more the traditional and alternate pathway-like stages, like Night Core and Wireless Tower over this one. But still, this was solidly constructed, and for those who like a more challenge-based game, or challenge-based level, they would like it. So great job, Solidus. Bravo. So overall, I enjoyed, in order from least to greatest, I liked Mount Honor, Mountain Climb, Sky Base, Wireless Tower, and Night Core. So, pretty nice bunch of levels. In the next part, I'll be covering the 6th level that I wasn't able to cover in this part because it's gone over an hour, as well as covering a bunch of levels from the popular queue. Well then, thanks for watching and have a nice day. Toodles!